October 11th, it is episode number 613 of Let There Be Talk. Welcome aboard. Today's episode is brought to you by my incredible sponsor, CBD Lion. CBD Lion, the greatest CBD on the planet. This ain't your truck stop CBD. This is third-party tested, family-owned business. Super incredible products. Right now, you can get CBD gummies, edibles, tinctures, topicals, and the CBD tape, which I've been using on my lower back while I'm flying around on airplanes. Pet tinctures and treats for your little dog. Gertie loves them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get your CBD Lion now. CBDLion.com. Use the code DEAN for 20% off. I've been using this stuff for almost 2 years, and I am telling you, it works. I would not be taking it if it didn't. I wouldn't have the product on here if it didn't work. I love CBD Lion. They are family to Let There Be Talk, and they want to help you out with a great discount. Get yourself some topical lotions, maybe some gummies, maybe some hemp flour. CBD Lion, third-party tested. I told you that, but I'm telling you again, in case you're sitting there going, should I get some CBD? What? Oh, it's third-party tested? Yeah, it's not that truck stop CBD. CBDLion.com. Get 20% off right now. Use the code DEAN, D-E-A-N, in case you can't spell. All right. Who do we got today? We got rock and roll, 100% pure rock and roll. From the 70s all the way to 2021, this man has been slinging the six string, writing tunes, singing, killing it for his entire career. Mr. Tommy Shaw is here of Styx. Oh my God, what an honor to have this guy on. Unbelievable legend. I think he's totally underrated. He's wrote so many damn hits. It's unbelievable. Look at their run there. 77, Grand Illusion. 78, Pieces of Eight. 79, Cornerstone. Just those three records alone, you could call him a legend. But nope, keeps on going. Hits you with a little bit of Paradise Theater. That's when I first saw him. Man. Oh, God. They got a brand new record out right now. Keeping it going and just killing it with the new title, Crash of the Crown. Great, great classic Styx record. They're also out on tour right now, smoking it all around America. Great to talk to him. We cover songwriting. We cover his history on guitar and vocals and the Styx world, what's going on right now. They're out on tour. I want to tell you, we did talk about amps, and he had a little brain fart there for a minute, which I get multiple times a day, where you know something and you just can't remember it. So I asked him what amps he's been using, and he talked about the early days of Marshalls and stuff, but over the last 20 years or something, he's been using Bogner. And he texted me a couple days later and was like, dude, it was Bogner. So great to know that, so people weren't going like, what was the amp? What was the amp? I want to thank everybody that came out to the Treehouse show Saturday night in Los Gatos. It was probably one of my favorite shows of the last, 3-4 years. It was just incredible. Sold out, rocking it outdoors under the big trees. This venue and show just blew my mind. A lot of Patreoners there too. God, it was just so cool, man. I mean, God, thank you, Patreoners. It means the world to me that you throw a couple nuggets there for all of the work here on the CactusRadioNetwork.com. Brandon Belt, love this man. Upped his pledge, so damn cool. We got a new one here, Darren, no last name, just Darren. Holly Snyder joined Patreon and bumped up her pledge. And let's see, what else we got? Robbie, he doesn't have a last name either. What's up, Robbie? Stephen Gillian, I probably fucked your name up, sorry, but you're over there in the UK contributing to the Patreon. Thank you. And Thaddeus Selleck upped his pledge too. I cannot thank you guys enough. We got bonus episodes on Patreon, and we have Zoom Fest. I will be Zoom Festing Monday night if my ass is not exploding from I'm about to go get a colonoscopy. So I got to drink this fucking, it looks like one of those truckers. You ever see a trucker come out of a truck stop and they've just got the 2-gallon Coca-Cola? I mean, look, the shit's got bigger and bigger over the years. It was like big gulp. Then there was super big gulp. Now there's this thing called thirsty tanker. Just full diabetes. I'll take a thirsty tanker. I want my feet to be vibrating when I'm going down the highway. Take a foot. My truck's automatic. I don't have a clutch. Take a foot. Anyway, so I hope to do Zoom Fest tonight. That's tonight. What am I fucking talking about? I got a long day today. I've got to do a bunch of work. I'm still reading the Nikki Sixx book, and then I'm about to do a live stream with Nikki Sixx today at 3 p.m. And then I got to start drinking this voodoo juice and flush out the colon so they can look at the insides. Hopefully everything's clean. And that's always scary. Getting knocked out, going under. I'm not afraid to die. I realized it. But I got fucking shit I still want to do. Still want to fucking do comedy. If I didn't do anything that I loved, I'd be like, I don't care. But man, I got to be in Atlanta on Wednesday with Bill Burr. I can't be missing those shows. So don't fuck up, doctors. That'd be insane if I die and this is the last episode. You guys are like, oh man, it was so weird. He was like, don't fuck up, doctors. Anyway, I love all you guys. I do have shows coming up nonstop. People constantly. I do not know how this happens in the world of the internet and a phone in your hand nonstop because you're addicted to phone. We all are. I do not know how people constantly hit me the day after I leave a town. And it's not just me. It's every comedian and every band on the planet. It is a serious fucking ADD problem of people with the phone. They stare at it all day and they do not take in the info. It's mind-boggling. As soon as I landed yesterday, put up a photo. Thank you to everybody that came to the Treehouse, which, by the way, thank you, Scott Poncetta, for putting on a great show. And thanks to Shaylin McDonough for rocking the feature spot. But as soon as I landed, oh, man, that's 10 feet from my house. How did I miss this? Oh, man, come back. I'll catch you next time. I truly thought the people were going to learn their lesson when the lockdown happened. And they're like, shit, I've never seen such and such, man. Oh, I might not ever get to see him again. And we're all back in our ways. It's here we are 2 years later and people are like, I'll catch you next time. There might not be a next time. I've said it over and over. Go see your favorite artist. It's not just me. It's anybody. Do the work, man. Just go to DeanDelRey.com, hit tour dates, and go, oh, shit, he's going to be here in 2 months. Put it in your phone. Set an alarm. You have so many ways to find out how people are coming to your town right now. That is mind-boggling. When I was young, you had to hopefully get a newspaper or walk by a fucking flyer on a telephone pole and then remember it. Remember it 2 months from now. Kiss is coming. I can't miss that. You had to remember it. You didn't have any fucking pocket phone with notes and unlimited alarms and shit. So get out there. That's my rant today, man. Fuck. Come on, people. You can do it. Go to DeanDelRey.com or whatever. Go to Radiohead.com. Find out what the fuck they're doing. Go check out NickCave.com. If it's your favorite, just check it out. Go, oh, okay, I want to brush up. Looks like 2021. He's going to be in Las Vegas. He's going to be in Atlanta. He's going to be in San Jose. He's going to be in Bend, Oregon. He's going to be in Portland, Oregon. He's going to be in Des Moines, Iowa. Oh, all right, those are close to me. I'm going. Ranting. I am ranting because I do not understand that. I never will. But my one tip to you is if you did miss somebody, just don't post about it. Just go, man, I fucked up, and carry on. Don't post right away. Dude, sorry, man, I didn't know. I look at your Instagram every day, but somehow I didn't know. All right, it's out of my fucking system. Once every 5 or 6 months, I got to rant about that because it blows my mind. I know I'm seeing fucking Primus next Sunday. I've known that for like 6 months. All right. I love all of you. DeanDelRey.com. There is tons of new merch up. We've reloaded the merch page, and there's a new Grail shirt. So you can now have the Grail shirt, a Dark Fonzie, the Perry Shaw Dean Del Rey shirt. There's Dark Fonzie patches, all kinds of good stuff. Also, CactusRadioNetwork.com. All the podcasts are on there. Have a fantastic week. Wish me luck with the camera up the butt and candles lit. Here he is, the one and only Tommy Shaw. You look fantastic, man.
I feel great, man.
Are you back to veggie diet or just regular?
No, I gave that vegetarian thing up about probably 15 years ago. My wife, we were in Big Sur at this place. I can't remember the name. It was like this kind of health resort thing, and they had an outdoor restaurant. And she'd ordered this ribeye steak, and I'd ordered some fish. And she's looking at me going, you know, if you were ever going to try this, now's the thing you should try. You know, and it had been 15, 20 years since I'd eaten red meat. And so I had a bite of this ribeye, and it was like in The Wizard of Oz when it goes from black and white to color. And it was like, oh my God, you know, it was like, why have I been depriving myself of this? And then just went on a meat binge when we were driving back to Los Angeles. I'd never had an In-N-Out burger. We stopped at the grocery store and got more meat to take home.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
And I had no problems with it. I think my years of being on the road, I think my digestive system works really well.
Yeah. I mean, I just kind of go like in between stuff. Like I'll go fish for a while, then I'll go a little meat, then I'll go like vegetarian, then just kind of all balance, you know?
Yeah. My daughter's very strict vegan, and she just came out to visit when we were in Phoenix. She lives in San Diego. And so I just followed her lead, and we found some great vegan restaurants, and I found some great things to eat. And I'm never going to starve out here.
Yeah. Where are you? You live in Phoenix?
No, I live in Nashville, and we are in Salt Lake City today.
Oh, right on. How you like Nashville?
Love Nashville. Love it. It's so centrally located. First of all, it's a great city to live in, you know, just full of great people. We've got great neighbors. There's lots to do there. If you want to do it, you know, a lot of us musicians just tend to stay at home, you know, and we're working in our studios and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a great place, and there's great studios. In fact, we have a little, what we call it a guest house that if band members come, they can stay over there and don't have to stay in a hotel. And right next door, this friend named Johnny Reed, who's a Canadian artist, he took over Randy Scruggs' studio after Randy passed away and redid it. And so Jeannie got out of the car going over there to look at the house a couple of days ago, and ran into Bob Ezrin and Alice Cooper walking into Johnny's studio. And like, you know, it's that kind of town.
Yeah, Bob Ezrin. Oh man, what a legend, huh?
What a sweet guy too, man. We when we moved to Nashville, he and his wife were on the plane flying from LA to Nashville. So he actually came and introduced himself on the plane. And what a legendary guy. He's just as down to earth as they come.
I go way back. I'm 55. I go way back with Styx. Styx was one of the main bands in my rotation for most of my life, especially in the late 70s, early 80s. I saw the Paradise Theater tour at the Oakland Coliseum. I never forgot it. And you just absolutely smoked it. I think you were playing a black Gibson Explorer at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still playing one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bring it up for too much time.
Wow. Wait, you got the original one still?
No, that one sort of just went away one day somewhere. As this happens every once in a while, but there are more guitars. They make more. I got another one.
What drew you to the Explorer? I always loved it. Of course, there was people that were known for the Explorer. I love the Carina Explorer, and there was a time where Sammy Hagar played one like religiously, that red one he had. But throughout the years, Matthias from Scorpions, all these great Explorer players. What drew you to it? Was it just the radical rock shape?
Yeah, seeing those guys with one, I wanted one. And it's this big slab of wood. It looks like a surfboard on me, but I just love it. There's a whole lot of neck to use, and I like the switching on it. It's just a very fun instrument.
I love how it sits on you when you're playing it. It's kind of like ergonomically just the best. There it is. Everything's right there.
Yeah, you can let go of it. It's not top heavy. Like a Firebird. It's a lot of wood to resonate there. But I like the heavy guitars. I like a heavy Les Paul. I know some people are like, that thing weighs over 12 pounds. It's like, yeah, because it's a big slab of wood and it resonates,
Yeah. Those 70s Les Pauls are straight bowling balls. You can get up to 13 or 15 pounds on those things.
I don't mind the weight. I got rid of a 70s one that I had because it was just didn't sound good.
Right.
It wasn't a great year for that guitar. But yeah, I along the way, I've gathered together a really nice collection of guitars to take out on the road, and we're constantly tweaking them. And I have a new guitar tech now, and he's just crazy about getting everything just so. And so we're having a lot of fun with it, and we're playing a lot of songs off of Crash of the Crown, and so we're having to develop what our tones are for those songs, and then it all just kind of circles back. You're constantly trying to improve the playability and the tones of your instruments.
It's amazing to think about Crash of the Crown. I was listening to it, and you are a lot like, I had Jerry Cantrell on today, and you, like, it comes on and I'm like, look, it's you and JY, but it's like, this is just Styx. The songwriting, the sound, the vocal, the keyboards, especially, and the guitar, the way those two play off each other. It's like, what year is this? It could be 79. It could be right now. It Styx.
Yeah. Well, some of the new synthesizers, there's some incredible instruments, and Lawrence has all of them, but he also has all the vintage ones. He has a vintage Mellotron up in his studio those tapes are from the 50s.
Wow.
A lot of those people are probably no longer even living, and there they are singing and playing their instruments on the Mellotron. And because he had to go back to Canada and couldn't come back here, we wound up recording some of that stuff remotely in his studio with Russ, his engineer. And that worked out great because the technology came about, that listen to software, so we could play it, do a take and then play it back, and it would come back through my studio monitors in Nashville. So same thing with Todd in Austin on his drums. He's in his drum studio with all of his collection of drums and snares. When he would come to Nashville, he'd bring maybe 2 choice snare drums with him. In Nashville, he has this insane snare drum collection of things made from wood that was dredged up or part of a Rolls Royce chassis or all these amazing snare drums. So for every song, we were able to audition just multiple snare drums until we got the one that we liked, and did the same thing on a Zoom call. He would do a take and then play it back, and we would listen to it on our monitors. And it's kind of like being in the studio. When you're in the studio, drummer gets up and goes in the next room down the hall, and you're watching him on a monitor between the studio speakers, and you listen back like that. Kind of the same thing, except we had to wait and listen to the playback.
Yeah. Now, is this record a concept record? Because it seems like it's got some, it's dense, man. There's some depth in all these songs, and it feels like some kind of thread all the way through the record, but it definitely feels like some kind of concept in there.
I think it's more like a diary of a certain time, that the songs were written in. Or you write what you know and what you feel, and so the songs just come out that way. But we never really set out to have it be conceptual. But I think the Grand Illusion was like that too. It's been called a concept album, but a lot of it was just how we felt at that time, what was going on in the world. And we try not to preach, but there's there was one song that we're really getting a great response with live, and it's called Save Us From Ourselves. And it's kind of like an old Marvin Gaye kind of song. And that's the way we treated it. And we even took it a step further live. We jam out on the end of it, and then have a big, you're holding out the note, and then I wait, and it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take it up another level and play it to the end. And I've always loved that. Springsteen's really good at that.
Oh, he kills.
And the soul bands I was in when I lived in Alabama, we always had to have a song that did that. And that song has been a perfect, opportunity to have that kind of live fun.
Well, that was the great thing about the 70s. We had that radio that would just play, Earth, Wind and Fire. Then they'd play Styx, and then they'd play, James Brown, and then they might play the Pretenders. It's just, you got it all.
Because you had guys like Jim Ladd who were playing what he liked, and he could put sets together. The guys who can put the set lists together. We've got a guy, our production manager. He has got a knack for it. And Brian Wong, he is like the music master, and he puts. We'll look at him and go, well, maybe Todd. Todd usually has some notes. That's got to give me a break between these two songs.
Yeah.
Because he works. I mean, he's a machine. And so we love it when we come up with a set where everything works. And these new songs, just because we really tried to stay true to our favorite Styx albums, and those we consider our favorite Styx albums as Grand Illusion, Pieces of A, Equinox. So if we could, stay close to the drum sounds and the keyboard sound, and we're still playing the same, Les Pauls and Stratocasters and things like that on it. Vintage basses, Chuck, they played his vintage Rickenbacker. And we have a way of stacking our vocals that's, it just plays to our strength. And so it's very much a Styx album. So when we play those songs live, they really shuffle in nicely. If you didn't know, you'd have a hard time identifying what was new and what was old.
Yeah, that's great because, most people as they get older, I mean, if you look at some of the early songs you were writing, like Blue Collar Man and Renegade, and, these are really hard rocking tunes. And here we are in 2021, and you're still in that flavor. Some people just throw on the acoustic and that's it once they get older, but this sounds definitely got some 70s vibe in there.
Well, we're 70s, vintage guys ourselves, so that's you write what you know and you play what you know. And we didn't really think that much about, these are going to be fun to play live until we started playing them live. And it's like, wow, I'm so glad we did this. And, and the only one that we rearranged a little bit was Save Us From Ourselves, I believe. But yeah, we have a new opening, a new music to walk out on, We have Music to Walk On with, and it's the same vibe that you would always get with the Styx show, but it's fresh. It's very fresh, and also vintage. You know, we started playing Man in the Wilderness again, and so we have plenty of songs to choose from to write sets. I wish we could play like 5-hour shows. We could just keep going, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys are a lot like Foreigner. It's just a gallon of hit songs. Foreigner, Styx, Cars, these bands. I mean, there's no piss tracks. You're like, I got to take a week. Oh no, they're going to play this one. I'm waiting. I always call it the piss track. Like play. And then if you play a new song, usually that's when people go take a piss, but your new songs are great. So it's like, I love this one.
People got to pee when the show's over.
Yeah.
Big line.
Bring a diaper. Styx, bring a diaper. That should be your shirt.
Park near a tree.
Yeah. When you first started writing songs, I mean, how many songs did you write before you got to fooling yourself? Because, I mean, once you start writing and you're in the Styx fold, you seem to be on a run, man. All of a sudden, here comes Tommy Shaw, the tunesmith, you know? How did you have a ton of songs that were failures and then all of a sudden you found your groove, or how did that happen?
I don't know. You just write, you know, I used to write these very sappy love songs when I was in junior high school because I was just, you know, didn't know what to do with girls and I was getting my heart broken all the time. And so there'd be just pads of paper with these, you know, it's like, no, I don't even know what I did with that because none of them turned out to be good songs. And then it just, something happened along the way where the chords would come and that's to this day. It's like this. I'll come up with a little thing like on the Mission, that song, you know, like the Mission to Mars stuff. There was none of that idea. And one day we were playing on a cruise ship, and you know we didn't know really what we were doing. So we're in the it's an odd thing to play on a cruise ship. So there we were, in the dressing room was in the bow of the ship. And we had just gotten these little miniature amplifiers, and they had a little bit of delays and things on them. So I picked mine up and I started playing with my I had a Strat I was playing with, and I just did this little hammering thing. They went doodle 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 doodle, and it sounded cool with the echo on it. So I never remember things like that. So I put my iPhone up and I recorded myself playing that. I listened back and I did it for quite a while. Then I played it back, and while I'm playing it back, I started playing the chords that go with it. And then it was like, well, I'm not going to remember that either. So I take my iPad and I record myself playing along with the iPhone on that. And when I got home, I took the second recording with the two pieces and into my studio, and I set up a Pro Tools session, and I just laid it out like that. And then when I like to have a middle eight or a bridge or whatever you want to call it in the middle. So I wrote this little thing that was kind of different, and I stuck that in there, and it was like, okay, you should put some vocals on this thing. And it's like, well, I don't have any words. So picked up the pencil and paper, and the whole thing was kind of limerick-ish, you know, so it's the pace of it was like diddly doo diddly doo diddly 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 doo. You know, but I didn't want this lyric, so I just started writing. I said, now we can say we'll be on our way. Now we can say this is the day we'll be on our way on our mission to Mars. And I sat back and looked at it. It was like, okay, what?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
And but then it all of a sudden it just told itself, and I was like transcribing this because it was so easy. Well, this is obviously what you say next, and this goes with the middle section. To me, that's my favorite way of writing, when it's just like somebody turned on the spigot and out it flows.
Yeah. That's the ones that are the best. You just don't know where they come from, especially if you're playing the song and the lyrics come at the same time, maybe just a chorus or whatever. And now you're like, well, now I got to figure out what this song's about, because this came organically, and anything else I try to put in there doesn't fit. You know, if you come up with a chorus that makes no sense, but you try to make sense, it won't be as good as what came out.
Yeah, when I got to the part where it was sparks and quarks that glow in the dark, will someday remark was a walk in the park or something like that. I was like, okay, it's time to wrap this up.
I love it, man. I love it. Let me ask you a little bit about that Paradise Theater tour. I saw that, and that was pretty much the mega Styx, you know, with the cool. I like the intro where the guy came on and he was kind of
Yeah.
sweeping the stage, and then it ends like that. What was that tour like? Because that's where you are basically full blown rock star.
It was, you know, I think Pieces of Eight really, really planted the flag, and it gave us a permission to just keep pushing the envelope. And Dennis found a painting somewhere that was that Paradise Theater, and it said closed, Paradise closed, and that's, you know, that was the thought of Paradise being closed. That's what sparked the whole thing. And so we had to license that piece of artwork, but then he took it to the next level with the staging, because he was very much into the, you know, theatrical stuff, and it just you know, that was meant to be a theatrical like presentation. We had a ball with it.
Yeah,
everybody played great. We brought some horn players out, and you think guitar players and rock stars party hard. Those horn players, they were the ones who's like, I can't hang with these guys. And then they get back up the next day and they're blowing, you know, and playing those parts. And it was a lot of fun. We had guys in the crew dressed in costumes, being part of it, and that was a lot of fun.
yeah, man. What a mega run. If you look at that late 70s run of Styx into the early 80s, it's like I said, it's just nonstop huge hit songs. I mean, look at those bands back then, like Boston, you know, where
I know.
It's just crazy how many good songs and the magic that was going on, like filmmaking going on in the late 60s, early 70s. There was just this creative time where there was so much mega good music.
Yeah. And it just, every band seemed to spur the other bands on. I can remember when I first joined the band, and I was living in Niles, Michigan, and I was upstairs in the bathtub, and I heard Cold as Ice from the other room, and it was like, holy shit, who is that singing that song, you know?
Yeah.
And Foreigner was just on fire, and it all of a sudden it felt like we're a bunch of lazy idiots, you know. We got to step up. Those songs were so well crafted, and Lou Gramm was like, wow, where did this guy come from? You know, he was like, I always was kind of a bluesy singer, but he had just taken it to another level. And it was very inspiring.
Yeah, that has to be interesting to think about, because I'm not even really thinking about that. But as you're driving around in your car and listening to the FM radio, there's got to be a friendly competition of like, oh my God, these guys have another hit. This song is incredible. And they're not just these just standard kind of blues rock songs. Styx and Foreigner and Boston, these type of bands, these songs, they're like radically put together. When you listen to it, you're like, wait, what tuning are they in? Oh, wait, they're changing time signatures. There's three guys singing. What, you know, it's insane.
And everybody had their own sound. You knew right away. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it's just really, all this creativity came about as a result. It was a great time. And then that just kind of became what rock was.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. When you were first starting out, did you just start out on guitar, or did you start out as a lead singer and then played guitar? Because I started out on guitar and then everybody needed a singer. So I put the guitar down and started singing. But were you doing both right out of the gate?
Yeah, I always, my uncle, my grandfather used to give me nickels to sing on a little front porch when I was just this little big head, little, toddler sitting out there. I would remember the choruses to songs, and he would give me a nickel to sing them. So basically, I was a professional singer as a toddler, getting paid to sing.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I always liked that, and I've always heard music in my head. You just ask my wife if she's trying to get my attention. She's like, "Where are you right now?" Like, I just give me a second. But I remember, and I've told this story before, but it's I was about 5 years old, and my sister and my mother were in the house, and we had one of those doors that swing like that between the kitchen and the dining room. I said, "I want you to come in here and listen to this song that I wrote." They're like, "Okay." And I took them in there, and I stood up, and it was like, "India is the town that I was born in, and I don't know if I'll ever go there again."
Awesome.
They were looking at me like, he ain't right. But no, that was the kind of stuff. And I mean, to this day, I've usually got something on that's playing in my head. And every once in a while I'll go, "Wait a minute, what is that?" And I'll have to record it. I'll have to get a guitar and take my iPhone and make a little movie of it and record it, because the magic goes away. It's like ether.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm a comedian now. And if you don't just sit down and write that down when it comes to you, you are making a huge mistake. Yeah. Because it's being sent to you for a reason.
That's right. And who knows why or how, but so I'm constantly finding little song nuggets, and then I can take it to the next level. And, it's fun, but I am a distracted person. My wife will be constantly going, come on, where are you right now? I need you present and center.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the women that date artists, because as much as you love them, they're always going to be second, because your mind is taken over by the number one thing you've been doing most of your life, which is art.
Well, I found someone who I can be that person and still have her have my full attention. And when you find somebody like that, you hold on to them and hope they still want to hold on to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When you find the right one, for sure, you're like, oh, she understands my lunacy,
Yes, exactly.
And sometimes they can really help you out by wrangling in your ADD or whatever and keeping you on a track, which is great.
Yeah. It's hard for her to do that, because there's something always there.
Now you guys were flipping homes together for a while. Am I correct on that? Or did you just flip one?
No, she does that sort of thing. She doesn't necessarily flip, but she will, her mother always had like a rental house or something like that, and was fixing them up, and, and she'd have renters and that sort of thing. And she was a real estate agent. And so Jeannie, she paid attention to all that stuff. And her parents owned they ran a motel in Clarksville. And Jeannie she loved her dad, and her dad was the maintenance guy. So she followed him around, and he would be changing filters in air conditioners, or changing locks and doing this. She learned all that. So she's maintenance girl at the house, and I'm just sort of an assistant, but she runs everything. And I need a tech.
Yeah.
She is phenomenal, and she can juggle properties, and it just looks so easy to her. But that's her magic.
Well, the real estate world is just insane right now, so it's kind of a good world to be in if you understand it and you love it. Like, I love architecture. I love mid-century modern, and I'm obsessed with it. Palm Springs, those type of stuff.
Yeah.
And, even Nashville, I've signed up for all kinds of alerts of mid-century Nashville, mid-century Boise, Idaho, you know what I mean?
Man, I'm telling you what, it's you better snap it up if you see it.
I know. It's brutal, right?
It is. It is.
Let's get into a little bit about Damn Yankees. I saw you guys at the Katati Cabaret. Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I was there. Front row, man. Front row. Yeah.
That's one you don't hear very often.
Yeah, yeah. And the old Prairie Sun up there. And
Yeah.
Mooka. Hey, Bubba, get that Thomas Shaw up here, Bubba. You know?
Mooka, we went up there with Nevison. Nevison said, because he didn't trust us, he said, we're going to go up there and you guys are going to record the album live. So, we found out what we didn't know and we found out what needed work. And Mooka was the guy. I mean, he opened his doors to us and we'll always be grateful to him for that.
Oh, yeah. I had Jack on and he was talking about how you guys were rocking up at his house there up on Sonoma Mountain and the earthquake hit, the 89 quake. And he said Ted didn't put down his guitar at all. He was just like, earthquake, and just kept rocking.
He wouldn't stop playing. And we're going like, hey, stop, because the house is going like that. And you can hear water sloshing. And it was the water coming out of the pool. The water dumped out of the pool into the yard. And then Nevison was out there on the hillside standing on like a railroad tie. It's a pretty steep thing. And I'm thinking, Ron, get off of that and get back into it because you don't know what's going to happen with, it was a pretty major earthquake.
Oh my God, that was the 89. That thing rocked the city, man, broke the bridge, ended the World Series, the whole thing, man. And then fires everywhere. That was devastating. We had an earthquake here this morning, 7:30 in the morning. Yeah, just a small one, like a 1.8, but I felt it. Woke my dog up right away. She was like, "Woo,"
Yeah. I was in Los Angeles for that Northridge earthquake, and my cat jumped on my belly. He detected it first, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then we're like, "Whoa, what is going on?"
Earthquakes are crazy, man. Let's talk a little bit about the amps you're using. I don't know what you used throughout your career, but you've always had some incredible tone, always this perfect crunchy tone. Was it like Marshall Plexis back in the day? What are you on now?
It was Marshall Plexis, and then it was the bigger Marshalls that Jimmy Johnson had modified, and I used those for years. But now, what is it I'm using? God, I'm drawing a blank right now.
I love that. It's like, I don't know, man. I strap on, it sounds good, and I ride.
No, and I love this amp, and I haven't had anything to eat today, so my brain's a little bit under fueled.
Yeah.
It'll come to me when I'm not thinking about it. But yeah, it's a vintage amp, and you'll know the one I'm talking about when I remember it.
Did you get into the boutique amp era, like Matchless and all that stuff?
Yeah, I have a couple of Matchless amps.
Those are great, man.
Yeah, it's like just a souped up, AC30.
Right. Bulletproof one that won't catch fire when you're on tour. And then what about acoustics? Are you a vintage acoustic guy like Martins and stuff? Because Styx always has great acoustic tone also.
Always looking for a great acoustic. I have a lot of acoustic guitars. I like the vintage ones. I've got a lot of great dreadnoughts, and I've got this closet in our house, and I know this sounds kind of wacky, but I'll have a guitar that's just not sounding right. Like I had this wartime, a Banner J45.
Oh, I got a 52 J45. Love them.
Yeah, and wanted to use it on a record, and it just wasn't behaving right. So it was like, well, I've got this other Collings guitar that's one of the handmade ones. Bill Collins was still alive.
Great brand, man.
And that guitar is it's good for anything. And then recently I went in there and I took the Banner J45 out. It was at 43 J45. And all of a sudden I started playing. It was like, damn, what happened in here? Sitting in the case in that closet. And the house that we live in Nashville was bought from the builder originally by Donna Summer and her husband.
Wow, cool.
And she raised her two daughters in that house. And she had this whole world down on the pool deck level. That whole floor was, like her recording studio, her a lounge, a dance studio, a salon, and then what we call the diva closet. She put all the clothes in there. And so I'm the diva of the closet down there now, and it's all my stage gear. But in the middle, we built shelves to go all the way up the ceiling for guitar cases, and that's the closet that's got this mojo. I left that guitar in there for a couple of years, and I pulled it out recently, and all of a sudden it was like, holy shit, what happened to this guitar? All of a sudden, it's one of the best sounding guitars that I have, and it's happened a couple of times recently.
Wow.
And it, I do have lots of stage clothing in the closets around it, so it stays pretty dry in there, and then it's in a case, so we keep the humidity down in there. So, or it just could be the mojo in there.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's a nice place to get surprised by. And I bought a J50, like a late 60s, mid 60s J50 from Gruen's, and it just sounded okay. I like this in beautiful shape, but it wasn't like blowing my mind. Went in there before I came out here, and it's like, it did it again.
Wow.
All of a sudden, this thing is just sparkling. And anyway, so you probably have to cut this down. We're just going on and on.
No. I love it. I love the acoustic talks, man, because they're magic. You pick up an acoustic, the right one, and songs just start coming out of them. It's really bizarre how an acoustic can be sitting around in a shop, and somebody picks it up, and all of a sudden, Come Sail Away comes out of it, or whatever. Something comes out, and you're like, wow, it was the guitar,
Yeah. I do have a lot of old ones that just every once in a while will just surprise the hell out of me. And I like the old ones because the banners were wartime guitars,
Yeah.
and all that was at that time, it was hard to get any kind of materials because everything was going into the war effort.
Yeah. No truss rods on those also.
Right. So the people who made those had to really want to make them. It was a lot of TLC that went into them, and they've been played over the years. So, you can just feel the heartache and the happiness and the excitement and the disappointment and all those things that went through that fretboard, down that neck into the heel, into that body of the guitar, and the top and the sweat. And it's just like a little recorder of the emotions that somebody put in there. And I'm not high when I'm telling you this, but it's all those things happened, and things have a tendency to leave residue. And I feel that when I pick up an old one. It's just like, this is an honor to be still playing this instrument.
Do you write mostly on acoustic? Is that how you write most of the Styx stuff?
It depends. Sometimes, if I'm on the road, we have these little Spark amplifiers. Have you seen those?
Yeah, those are nuts.
They when I first saw them, I thought, oh, this is some kind of little cheap toy.
Yeah.
But Will got one of them, and it was like, whoa, this thing sounds great, and it's the size of a shoebox.
Yeah.
So now we all have them, and because we don't do meet and greets or other things in the afternoon, we have time to rehearse. So our production manager sets up these little amps in a room, and we can go in there. Todd will bring his practice pad, and we can rehearse, and the sounds are great, and you can Bluetooth music through there. So as we're learning new songs from the record, we can play it through there and just do it and check everything. And that has been a big help. Technology every once in a while comes along and blows your mind and helps you out.
What about things like Blue Collar Men? Is that just wrote like you're riffing in the studio on electric guitar, or do you write kind of the bones of it on acoustic and then add riffs to it?
That was an acoustic thing, just chugging along, playing those D minor, and then just making it up as I went along. But I had an experience with a friend at that time who, I both would take our 4-wheel drives. Mine had like the wheel wells cut out, 48-inch tires, and he had a similar car, and we would just go out and just beat the hell out of our 4-wheel drive things, and try and remember to take all the tools and stuff out of there before you go, because they feel like shrapnel going. But he worked for the railroad, and he was proud of that. He loved his job. And then one day he got laid off, and he had to go stand in line in the unemployment line, and it just wrecks him. He's like, I don't want to stand in line to get a check. And that was where the inspiration came from. My father worked for the gas company. He drove a truck as a service guy for the Alabama Gas Company. So, blue collar ran in the family. I never worked a job like that, but I was exposed to it.
Right.
So, it was me telling a story about something I'd observed. And then when you take that into Styx and you get to the chorus, everybody grabs a vocal part, and suddenly that melody line in the chorus becomes this 3-part harmony and sounds like Styx.
Oh my God. The vocals in your band were unreal. That's funny too. Blue Collar, man. I saw the Bruce Springsteen on Broadway, and he comes out, he goes, I've made a career out of lying to you. I've never worked in a factory. I don't know how to fix my car, but I can tell a story. And you're just like, hell yeah, you can, man. I love that, though. I made a career out of lying to you.
That's cool.
It's funny, you were talking about rock clothing. You always look great. I'm obsessed with rock and roll fashion. I love clothes. I've always loved it ever since Jimmy Page, Dragon Pants, or even Kiss with their costumes. And rock and roll clothing is such a big deal to me. Over the years, what were some of your favorite people that made your clothes? Did you ever go to like Lord's on Melrose? And they made a lot of great shit.
Yeah, they did. But I worked with a girl named Karen Dusenberry. And in fact, I just heard from her. She just wished me happy birthday a couple of days ago. And I still have stuff that she made for me. And she's done a lot. She still works with Cheap Trick, but when we moved from LA, it was just too hard to go back and do fittings. And I have a lady in Nashville named Patty Talbot now who makes stuff for me. And recently, the original person that I ever worked with when I joined Styx, before that, you just look for anything that would fit and try.
Right. In the women's department, you're like, all right, yeah.
I had this on the Come Sail Away video. I had this white jumpsuit, bell bottoms on it, and I got it at the merry-go-round at the mall, and it was for women, but I was so skinny I could still do that. And at one point, the lady who was the wife of Governor George Wallace, she was her seamstress, and she made a jumpsuit for me that was. It didn't really work out that well, but there's a picture of me. If you see me in this black jumpsuit with big bell sleeves on it, did that. But when Styx started making records and we were in California, our manager, he was our videographer, Jerry Kramer, introduced me to this guy. So this guy's made a couple of coats or something for me named Ray Brown.
Oh yeah, Ray Brown.
So Ray, I was Ray's first customer.
Wow.
And Ray made all those jumpsuits that I wore in the better looking jumpsuits that I wore, right. Like Grand Illusion and, after the merry-go-round stuff, then he started making them for me. And then over the years, we've lost touch with each other. He moved back to England or Australia. And so, but then JY had gotten back in touch with him and he'd made JY some clothes. And I finally was like, Ray, will you make me some pants? Make me some clothes. And so I'm now wearing Ray Brown pants again. And they're the best.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But Patty makes shirts for me and my wife goes around and comes back with, arms full of fabric. And so the gist is I cannot dress myself. I got this T-shirt at Target, and my wife says, "Stop wearing those T-shirts." It's like, well, I needed a clean shirt.
Target, Tommy Target Shaw.
Hey,
love it. I mean, it's such a big thing being a rock star, especially in the 70s. There is that thing, rock star, up until, say we get into kind of grunge of, and that was even a costume and an outfit of like, okay, I'm going to be the anti-rock star. Well, you're going the extra mile of getting some old Doc Marten boots and some torn up shorts and stuff. That's still
my Damn Yankees outfit.
Yeah, there you go.
Sleeveless plaid shirt, cut off shorts, Doc Martens.
Yep, there it is. And I think it gives it something to let the people know we're at the show.
Yeah.
How about cars and watches? Are you into that stuff, like watches and vintage cars or anything?
I've got a drawer full of old watches, and I never wear any of them. They just get in the way, and I bang them into stuff. And in fact, everybody, when everybody reached a certain age in our band, they got a Rolex watch.
Yeah.
And I said, so they got me one, but it was like a vintage one that was like, because I'm not going to wear it. So I'm just going to stick it in the drawer.
Yeah.
Todd, our drummer, he can give you chapter and verse on what is the best and what's the most favorite. And so he actually had a request for his when he reached a certain point.
That's great. Like, hey, don't be getting me no date chest. What I'm looking for is a 66 GMT Pepsi, putting you guys on a serious hunt.
Yes. We had a good resource out in California, so that helped.
Yeah. What about cars? Are you a car guy?
I like cars, but I'm not. I don't know anything about them. We have a vintage. We have a '65 Mustang
cool.
rag top, and we just got a new 289 put into it. Somebody put in a 302 in it, and it was like it's never meant to be there. So we put a brand new 289 in it, and man, it's like butter now.
Wow.
But and so we take that out and drive it every once in a while and blow it out, take the dogs for a ride in it. They love it. And haven't put the top up on it, I don't think, ever.
Well, if you're getting a convertible, you should never put the top up. I always tell people that car's horrible with the top up.
You should, though, because when I tried it, everything's all, it doesn't want to unfold.
Yeah.
And we've got a Ford 150 that we bought brand new in 2009 or something like that. And we just can't get rid of it because we have so many memories of pets in it and trips to Oregon. And, so we'll probably drive that into the ground.
Well, I think that's the rule when you move to Nashville, right? You got to get the Ford F-150, right? When you sign the mortgage, they're like, okay, now get your Ford F-150.
No, we got that Ford in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it just keeps serving us, and we'd hate to get rid of it. It's got a few dings in it, just from bumping into stuff with it, because we use it like a truck.
Yeah.
So we keep it cleaned up like it's a limo. But yeah, and then we just got a regular car.
A car. I thought like a Prius or something. It's Tommy Shaw and his Prius. It's so funny, man, because it's like when you think about rock stars, especially in the 70s, it was just like cocaine, Corvettes, mansions, and all that cliche stuff. And you lose all your money the first time around. And then I think the second time around, you go like, all right, wait a minute. I'm not going to get ripped off, and I'm not throwing money away. I want to be able to do this for the rest of my life. And you either die or you learn it.
I don't do a lot of shopping for anything because I'm a single cell organism. I want to play my guitar, and I want to keep my voice in good shape, and I want to be able to still fit into my clothes. And after that, the list gets smaller, but the list just gets less important.
What kind of warm-ups do you do? Do you do full vocal warm-ups and warm down? Do you do that stuff?
Well, I should, but you know, what's happened out here that we didn't anticipate is we planned on this being a bus tour. That's what we've always done.
Right.
So we'd have a bus for ourselves, a bus for our crew. Well, there's been this, you know, the lockdown and the pandemic have created these schisms or whatever you want to call it, is, you know, these differences of opinion. And what's happened is there are no bus drivers.
Oh yeah.
Because they didn't want to get vaccinated, so they went to driving trucks. And so we don't want to get a young, inexperienced bus driver. But
right.
So when we showed up at our first gig, we're expecting 2 buses. Well, there was 1 bus, and it was our bus, but we gave it to our crew. Because they need to be comfortable and do that sort of thing. And so we're getting up and getting on airplanes now, which we didn't anticipate, but be damned if we're going to let that keep us from playing. So we're some tough old bastards, you know. You can't don't give us a challenge and think that we're not going to rise up to it.
Yeah.
So we've just changed. We changed automatically. We changed our thinking, and so now, until further notice, we will get up and we will go get on a plane, and we will go suit up and we will play, and we sing properly. You know, I studied vocalizing more than the other guys because I had to, and it was all because of High Enough. I had to learn how to sing high enough, because we wrote it and could go in there and do some takes and get all those notes. And I was living in New York, and I went to try and sing, and it was like, I can't, I don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
So I went to my vocal coach, and I took a cassette and played it to her, and she looked at me and she's like, "Are you out of your mind?" I said, "No, you have to help me." So she taught me how to sing high enough, and the lessons I learned from that have enabled me to continue to sing and continue to not hurt my vocal cords. And I'm constantly passing on little tidbits of do this instead of that to my brothers in the band. And I just watched the Sinatra documentary. That's a 2-part documentary on Frank Sinatra. And in that documentary, he talks about how he said, you know, and this is going to be, this might not make any sense, but he says, singers don't go, ah.
Yeah.
They go, and if you're a singer, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
The energy all goes out that way. It goes up into the roof of your mouth, and it resonates in your sinuses. That's basically your speaker cabinet up there.
Yeah.
So if you keep that in mind, set an alarm to go off in a minute, and so you can sleep while I'm talking through this. But
no, I understand this stuff well, because I sang for 25 years. I get it.
All right, so
yeah.
If you just pay attention to where you're making that note reflect as it comes out of your face, all of a sudden you sound like Carrie Underwood singing that, are you ready for some the Friday night football thing.
Yeah.
She knows how to do that. And we don't really go for belting like that, like we're on American Idol.
Right.
But it's the same. That's how those guys sing. You can tell they've been studying, and their voices will last their lifetime.
Well, when I took some heavy lessons, and the guy taught me something that stuck in my head for a lifetime. He said, when you yawn, this is how you can sing and save your voice and go high. When you yawn, you go like, oh. That's kind of how you should be singing instead of all tight in here. When you yawn, you can kind of go to a high note, because it's all opened up. And also I can kind of see the note I want to hit. It's really bizarre. Yeah. I can kind of just go, oh, I kind of know it's out there. And once you figure that stuff out, it's like, oh, okay,
And I tell people a lot of times, if you were in the airport and your kid was running away out in front of you, what would you do? You go, hey, hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you hit those notes.
Yeah.
You know, you just put words to them. And so people can do that stuff. They just don't try. You know, it's scary to go and say, I'm going to sing these notes tonight.
Yeah.
Because you could, if they're counting on you to do that, you could be in real trouble.
Also, in-ear monitors have just been a godsend.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Look at that.
I have them on for this.
Yeah. It's genius, you know. Let's go before we get out of here. First of all, I cannot thank you enough for talking to me. I just loved your playing and your songwriting and your vibe the entire career since I've seen you. And I love everything about Styx. Just the music was just so crushing. Still is. The new album's fantastic. And I love when a band puts out a record this deep in their career that sounds like classic who they are, you know? You know, like a band like AC/DC, they put out a record and you're like, oh shit, there's some AC/DC. Great. Ramones. Wow. There's some, you know, and this is some Styx, man. It sounds like Styx and I absolutely love it. You guys are out on tour right now, right?
Yes.
And how long is this tour going for?
Well, I think we have some dates in December, but we're going to just go back to what we've always done, you know, play every year and play enough so you stay in shape to do it. And as long as people keep buying tickets, it's a life. I mean, it's a lifestyle, and it's a great thing to have to live up to every night.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, and people need to hear those songs. They make them feel so good, you know? You go see Styx, they're like, oh, this song, oh, this one. It's unreal. You get your money's worth, man.
Yeah, we've made enough records so we can cherry pick some really good set lists.
Yeah. Let me ask you something I never knew about you. You dated Linda Blair back in the day?
Well, we were friends and we went out a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was around the time that she did that roller skating movie. But she was just the sweetest, and we're still friends. She's in the animal rescue now.
Yeah,
Pitbull rescue, and she's stone cold dedicated to that.
Man, that Exorcist film is still, to me, the scariest film of all time.
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Yeah, one of the only horror films nominated for Academy Awards. So really, really cool. Yeah. Well, congrats, man, and I hope to see you out on this, you know, sometime out there playing again. I haven't seen you since I opened up for you guys, and I just love what you're doing, and I'm glad you're still out there. You think Damn Yankees will ever do a run?
Well, who knows? We never broke up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that would be wild, right? Damn Yankees Styx tour. That'd be crazy.
I'd be doing double duty on that tour.
I know, but you know, it's just like a 3-week run. It'd be wild. Do you ever talk to Ted anymore?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh yeah, that's Ted. That's Ted coming in.
Oh, there's a guy outside in the window.
What?
There's a guy washing the windows, and I'm on this 17th floor.
Whoa! Holy shit! That's right. We mentioned Ted, and all of a sudden Ted comes in. Oh, Wango Tango!
You heard that knocking, didn't you?
I did, dude. I was like, "Whoa, what was that?" Good talking to you, brother.
You too. Yeah, it was fun. I feel like I went to the psychiatrist.
Oh man. All right. Well, you can hit me anytime. You want to talk, man? Hit me anytime, dude. I love talking to guys like you. A big inspiration to me on anything I do. Guys that I consider lifers in the biz. I always want to sit down and talk to and hear their story, because there's so many people that tapped out or didn't make it. So guys like you have the knowledge that we need to hear.
Well, I appreciate it. You know.
Absolutely. And congrats on the new record. Who produced this new record?
Willie Vankovich.
I don't know him. Is he a Nashville guy?
No, he's from the West Coast. He was in, if you ever saw Shaw Blades,
Oh yeah.
He was,
yep.
he was the third guy. If you ever saw that youth orchestra video that I did, the TV show, that's Will on the J200. And he and I had been co-writing together for years. And he has his own project called American Drag, and very prog. And when I heard that, when I first met him, it was like, God, how could I get some of that into Styx?
Yeah.
You know, and it was, you know, that's what happens when you put things out there. They have a way of sort of, you know, coming to fruition. And so he co-wrote a lot of the songs with me on The Mission, and then did all the writing demos. And his writing demos were when we did a friends and family little listening party to the we'd only gotten the first half of The Mission mixed. Jim Scott had mixed it, but his demos were so good that when we set everybody down, we said, we're just going to finish the album and then listen to the demos. And it was like, that sounded pretty close to the record. So when it came time to do it this time, and we were on lockdown, I said, well, you know, he didn't want to do it because it's a big, staggering job, but he accepted it. And he really went the distance with it. I love how it turned out.
Yeah, you did get some of the prog flavor in there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I find as I get older, I get into prog, you know?
Well, we do like light prog, you know.
Right. I'm not deep prog, but I get into like, whoa, man, this is cool. Like, you know, like a Grateful Dead Terrapin Station, a song like that. Like,
yeah. We don't want women to get up and walk out going, no.
Yeah.
So it's very like laid back prog, you know. You if you start trying to count it though, you'll go, oh, that's a little different, but it's very, you know, prog for the average person, you know, but it's definitely some prog stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and keep rocking out there. And
Thank
you guys
you.
got a website, right? Styx.com.
Styx World, Styx the band on the internet, and that's about it, I think.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to me, man.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. And I hope to see you soon. Are you playing in LA at all? I'll look it up, man. I'll look it up and I'll try to come see you. I'll hit you up.
We've been playing the Sanger Theater. Sanger?
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Theater.
Yeah.
We love that one. But we'll see.
If I get to Nashville, I do comedy. Maybe you come see me at Zany's or something. We'll hang out.
It's right down the road from us.
That'd be great, man, to see you there. You a big comedy guy?
We like comedy. We just haven't, you know, been able to go do it because of, you know, you didn't want to be in a little room with a bunch of people.
Yeah, right. I hear you. All right. Well, thank you so much, brother. And congrats on the new record. And everybody go get this record and see Styx out on tour, man. You are going to get your money's worth when you see this band.
It's a happy place.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tommy.
All right.
See you, brother.
Good talking to you. Okay.
Yeah.